Some folks in this country, atheists maybe, or practicing Scientology. Call people Barabbas like the Almighty. They was than Judas, take it from me. Who cut down megabits, breadfruit tree, and starve about 60 families. While I seeing Cubans coming by the school. Now I seeing soldiers from Ecuador. All who was depending on job creation. They wanted to peg stone at the seashore. Legalize ganja on the agenda. Who you think will own the big ganja plantation? Deadline for airport.
You're in tune to Nice Radio 90.3, 96.7, and 101.3. Coming to you on a beautiful Saturday, the 20th day in the month of September 2025. Coming up in a minute, we have a view from the outside with Britain Horn. Stay tuned.
Vincent and the Grenadines, tomorrow the Caribbean. Nice Radio, 90.3, 101.3, 96.7 FM.
Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brayton Horn. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brayton Horn will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brayton Horn at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
Good morning once again. Welcome to A View from the Outside with Britain Horn. And what I'm going to do at this time, let me say good morning to you, Britain.
Well, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Spicy. Good afternoon from London. Hello to all of our listeners, those who have rejoined us on a weekly basis. Hello to you. Thanks for listening in. And to those who are joining us for the first time, we say a special hello to you as well. So wherever you are in the universe, we say hello and thanks for joining.
Well, Burton, it's always a pleasure to have you. How are you feeling this morning? What's been catching your attention lately?
What's been catching my attention? My attention is always caught by things around me. So everything around me has caught my attention.
Wonderful. Well, this morning we have weak unstable conditions that are crossing the islands. So we expect skies to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms throughout the day. And I have to remember to keep an umbrella handy just in case.
Yes, as we say here in London, in the UK really, keep your brolly handy. Brolly short for umbrella. It seems as if we're having similar weather. It's cloudy here. The temperature is not too bad actually. It's 19 degrees Celsius, which is about 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and some rain is expected sometime later this afternoon or in the early part of the evening.
Well, that would just be some showers of blessings.
It's always showers of blessings, yes.
I know at this time, Britain, there are people who you would want to reach out to, maybe someone who have lost a loved one and you want to reach out to the family, or just persons who have been close to your heart and you want to reach out to them.
Well, anybody who has lost a relative, a loved one, a family member, we say condolences to you. And in terms of people who are close to my heart, all those who are near and dear, know who they are. Hello to you as well.
Very well.
Let me say a special hello though to my mother-in-law from Newgrounds. She lives in Newgrounds, Belitha Cordis. So I say a special hello to her, and hello to Helen Richards from Arnesville. Hello to all those who tune in on a weekly basis. My good friend from Mount Grinnan, Eva Dorset, and Carlita Green, Myho as we call her. To my sister Jennifer, in Mount Grinnan, she's visiting, and she's there. So hello, Jen, and hello, Cordelia. Hello to Mount Grinnan, which is my original village, and which is a village which is always near and dear to me, as I have said. So to all my as we say, peeps in Mount Grinnan and in South Central Windward, which Mount Grinnan is part of that constituency. Hello to all of you. Hello to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether you're at home or in the Vincentian diaspora, wherever you are.
Very well. All right. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share. If not, I will just allow you to dip into your bag and share whatever interesting stories you have. As always, we are waiting and eager to hear.
I'll dip into the bag, Spicy. Thank you.
Is it a big bag? Normal bag? What the bag?
Well, I don't know about big. It's probably full. It's probably full.
Okay. All right. So let's see what's filling up the bag this morning.
Thank you. On a view from the outside this week being the 20th of September 2025, we pause our series of going down memory lane and we look at the failures of a broken relationship, one which needs urgent and decisive intervention, one where there have been broken promises, empty plans, and lack of conceptualization, among other things, that have been made to be the norm in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the last 24 plus years. The state of decay in the country has reached an all-time dismal high. So today, basically, we're just going to go through and highlight the total lack of love, the disharmony, and the division that have all derailed St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So how are we going to do that? We do that by using the example of a marriage or a relationship. We describe a marriage as an agreement between two people who agree to stay together for the rest of their natural life. However, things do happen, and that marriage falls apart. Imagine for a second that the relationship between the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Unity Labour Party government is a marriage. Of course, the duration of the marriage or relationship in our example is until a general election, which is the end of the natural life of a government's parliamentary term under our system, our parliamentary system of democracy. The agreement between the ULP and the Vincentian voter at the beginning of the relationship is that the parties will stay together on condition that each party does what they promise to do. It is no secret that the ULP made multiple promises to the Vincentian electorate when they wooed them to get their votes. The Vincentian electorate, in turn, promised to vote for the ULP, and vote for the ULP they did. Sadly, the multiple promises which the ULP has made over the years are promises that have not materialized. Right at the outset of the relationship, the ULP promised to be tough on crime and the causes of crime. Everyone knows that they have not kept that promise. Instead of being tough on crime and the causes of crime, the evidence shows that serious crimes continue to escalate out of control. The murder rate continues to be alarmingly high, with record year-on-year numbers. There are record unsolved murders in the country, including that of Glenn Jackson, who was instrumental in getting the ULP into government. Farmers are at their wits' end due to predial larceny, where their agricultural produce and animals are stolen, seemingly with no end in sight and with no real solution coming from the ULP government. Domestic abuse and violence are becoming more and more rampant and alarming day by day. Women and girls up and down the country literally live in fear of being attacked by partners in a relationship or by ex-partners. Under their watch, under the ULP's watch, police officer Michelle Andrews, now deceased, was destroyed. Under their watch, the ULP's watch, they held a rape rally. Under their watch, Yogi Farrell, the young model with immense potential, was destroyed. Where is Yogi Farrell? Does anyone know? Under their watch, the ULP's watch, many women and girls were raped and sexually assaulted. Some were killed. Yet, in all of that, there appears to be a deafening silence from the Minister of National Security, the one who is meant to assure the nation that all is well in such crisis situations. At the start of the relationship or marriage, ULP also promised the doting electorate of St. Vincent and the Grenadines a cross-country road. Well, we all know that they failed dismally on that. Years and years have rolled over and no cross-country road. And still, no credible explanation of why they have not fulfilled that promise. And talking about roads, the farmers suffer again. The roads leading to their farms have been left unrepaired over decades. vehicle, in most cases, cannot drive on those roads leading to the lands of the farmers. Many farmers are left to tote their produce on their heads because the roads are in such disrepair. And it's not just the farmers. Vehicle owners all over the country constantly complain about the state of disrepair of the roads, which adds extra cost and expenses for maintenance and repair of their vehicles. They, the ULP, promised to provide geothermal energy. They even promised to produce enough geothermal energy to sell to Barbados. Oh, what a broken promise that has turned out to be. Yet, no credible explanation of the wastage of millions of dollars. The ULP promised education, but in the main, what have they delivered? They have delivered a slogan which they called the Education Revolution. What has the Education Revolution produced? Well, for sure, it has created a genre of followers generally. Followers who give no thought to thinking for themselves, but just parrot taglines. Some of them have been described by the top brass in the ULP as having gone to university and come back more backward than they went. The ULP promised to deliver a proper healthcare system. What currently pertains in the country, including lack of medication and supplies, is a long way off that promise. It is only now that elections are approaching again that they are scrambling to build a new hospital. But the question must be asked whether the building of a new hospital will solve the current lack which exists in the country. They, the ULP, promised growth, economic growth. They even told us at one time that we were on the cusp of an economic takeoff. Where is that growth? Where have we taken off? Who is feeling the positive benefits of any economic growth apart from family members and those well connected to the ULP regime? All it seems they have done is made things worse. By their own admission, the country is beset by extreme poverty. People are left to beg to pay their light bill. People are left to beg to pay their water bill. They beg to buy food. They beg to buy prescription medicine. They beg to try to send their children to school. Oh yes, the ULP made several promises over the years. They promised much and delivered little. They promised jobs, but in effect, proper jobs, proper paying jobs decreased tremendously since the ULP took over. They have all but wiped out the middle class in the country. Their total lack of adequate planning and foresight, as well as bad management, have left the country reeling. The country has moved from a net importer of basic food items when we used to be a premier agricultural base economy. There's no staple crop for export. There's no manufacturing. There's no government program for fostering local industry. The country is in a bad way. And that, Vincentians, is the sad, sick truth about the marriage or the relationship between the ULP and the Vincentian voters. The marriage or relationship is at an end. They have failed and have failed miserably to deliver what they promised. They do not deserve any more chances. They do not deserve another chance. Do not allow them to sweet talk you anymore. Now that you have threatened to break up with them, you follow through with it. Break up. Do not remain a victim of the battered wife syndrome or the Stockholm syndrome. Do not allow them to continue to hoodwink, bamboozle, or trick you and lure you into staying in such a broken relationship for another 5 years with them. No amount of lumber, cement, or galvanize can be enough to sustain you for another 5 years. A drink of rum and a cook-up on the block once every 4.5 years cannot keep you for another 5 years. A few dollars wrapped up in a t-shirt cannot keep you for another 5 years. They even have the brazenness to command you like an abused partner does in a broken relationship. They have commanded you not to grumble now, but to make do and bear your grinds. If you give them another chance, you will end up in a worse situation after the elections. Put a stop to it once and for all. Enough is enough. The ULP have shown that they will not change. They have shown that they cannot change. If you vote for them for another 5 years, they will continue to abuse you. Vincentians, the time is soon approaching. Elections will be here. It is your time to retaliate and end that marriage, end that relationship once and for all. That marriage, that relationship has to come to an end. The time is now. Time for them to go. Enough. No more. Until next week, this is Britton Horn with a view from the outside, with a reminder to send your feedback, as usual, to the email address aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. We also invite you to visit and like our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at A View from the Outside. Have a pleasant Saturday. Have a wonderful Sunday, and have a productive week ahead. All the best to you and to all our listeners, Spicy.
Burton, you've painted a vivid picture comparing the state of the country under the current administration to a broken relationship and its power analogy. When a relationship is built on trust and promises are continuously broken, whether it's failing to protect citizens from rising crime, not supporting our farmers as predial larceny drains their livelihoods, of ignoring the cries of women who live in fear, and it becomes clear that the foundation is cracking and people enter into, let's say, a political relationship with hope that those elected will care, act, and deliver. But when that hope is met with silence, fear, and unmet needs, it's no wonder that frustration turns into a call for change. Britons, your commentary reminds us that leadership is not just about holding office, it's about holding responsibility. And when that responsibility is neglected, trust is lost. As we reflect on what we've heard today, let's remember every citizen deserves to feel safe, heard, and valued, whether you're a farmer trying to make an honest living, a woman seeking protection, or simply a voter who believes in promises. You matter. The time has come to ask, are we in a relationship that builds us up or one that breaks us down? That has been a view from the outside with Brayton Horn. Brayton, let me thank you once again for being a part of this interesting program, and do have a wonderful Saturday.
Thank you, Spicy. All the best to you and our listeners.
All right, we have Dave on the line. Good morning, Dave.
Yes, good morning. Well, that was exceptional, coming from Britton Horn with his view from the outside this morning, and with a view from the inside, so to speak. I have so much, there is so much that can be spoken about, and as Britton chronicled all what he had to say there in such order, such fine style, it reminds me. But how many of us are reminded? How many Vincentians are aware, conscious, sensitive of what is going on in their country? After 25 years, here I'm comparing it to a relationship with a woman. Well, for some women, a relationship can be anything. But this relationship with a country and its people, I have to say, must be more serious, since it affects a population of over 100,000 people, multiply by whatever, because you have your offsprings, you have your extended family, and so on. So this is serious business. And 25 years of being in opposition is more than enough, unless we need a special brain in this country to understand, learn, appreciate what is going on. Well, I think I've said enough in terms of convincing and educated people. If the education revolution has done anything good for us, by now we should be able to comprehend and understand what is going on in our country. So all I dare say in my response is that Vincentians, all of you who are qualified to vote, well, just do the right thing. The good book says righteousness exalts a nation. Do you feel our nation is exalted? Or do you feel our nation is being affected, battered and bruised, like in any relationship? Come on, my people. I am not the educator. If I was the educator, I guess I would have been able to train your minds and get it to do the right thing. But I am hoping that Almighty God, the man who reigns supreme above us all, will have a hand in this election this time. Too long in this sort of situation. Well, with the worst people in the Caribbean? Come on, is only one man could lead us? Whether he wants to lead us astray or not, is only one man could lead us? Come on, my people. Use your brain. Use your brain. Use all your God-given talents and ability and do the right thing.
Thank you, Dave.
May God bless us all. Thank you.
Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brayton Horn. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brayton Horn will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brayton Horn at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
This society needs a special girl. It might help us to see some evil. This society needs a special girl.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Nice Radio's news highlights is coming to you with the compliments of the following.
We have moved. Lane's Hardware Bay Street is now at Lane's Uptown. We are remodeled with products for your hardware, painting, plumbing, electrical, and gardening projects. Lane's is proud distributor of Inco Power Tools and Supplies. Our building supplies and Grenadines help desk handles construction materials and deliveries for Fancy and Chateaubelair in the north to Union Island in the south. Our location is opposite the KCCU building. Call us at 456-1411 and ask about our free trucking delivery service to Beckway.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 20th day in the month of September 2025. Welcome to Nice Radio's local, regional, and international news presented by Cheryl Matthews. First off, in the local news, Chieftain Neptune, the new Democratic Party NDP caretaker for the North Central Windward constituency, addressed a village meeting in Chile last evening, declaring that the NDP has a clear vision for the future. Speaking to residents, Neptune expressed confidence in the party's plan and criticized the current government, stating this government cannot fool us. We hear from Neptune.
So what the new Democratic Party is saying to the people of Chile, what I am saying to the people of Chile, up in Cottage, we could build a bridge there so that we will connect North Central to North Windward. If anything happens there, you go there. So, to the people of North Windward, Dixon, and Spring Village, you could drive across. North Windward, you see why you have to vote for Chevron? North Central, you see why you have to vote for Chieftain? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you see why you have to vote for the new Democratic Party? This current party is visionless. They have no vision. I don't think they care to have any. They just want to fool the people of St. Vincent. But they can't fool us no longer. To the people of Bronxtown, they started the city fence and they stopped at Bronxtown Field. You could understand that? They stopped at the park at Bronxtown when they could have go further and rehabilitate that park, fix. You understand what I'm saying? And make that field into a cricket field. So we have the football field here, and then we have the cricket grounds down there. You played cricket there? Exactly. That is a next iconic field here in North Central Windward. So note, the people of Chile, I have plans for you, the people. I want to see your children move forward into a brighter future.
Meanwhile, Honorable Sinclair Leacock, parliamentary representative for Central Kingston, was also present at the meeting. Leacock voiced his strong support for Neptune and described him as a promising candidate aligned with the party's goal.
And so tonight, mine is a simple task, voice or no voice, to say to Chile, in Chieftain, you are in good company, you are in good hands. And I close, Bash, before you take your microphone, by telling you, I want to consider this a distinguishing feature of what Chieftain is going to be able to do in North Central Windward. He will have money allocated to him and his North Central Windward team to spend money on the little things that mean big things for you here. I can't tell you you'll be able to open bank account for a certain set of people for every Tuesday to go down by Bank of St. Vincent, Georgetown. But that will stop. That will stop. But Chieftain will be empowered to deliver services to you. And you'll be able to pick from the low-hanging fruits to, in quick time, make North Central the shining beacon that it can be. And that you, who have put him into office, will be able to put that broad smile and say, I'm so grateful for having supported this David of politics and Raiden St. Vincent of that Goliath of all times.
Also, at a village meeting held in Mount Pleasant, Neptune criticized the government for suggesting that agriculture is a thing of the past, calling it a sign of disrespect to the people of Mariquar. He stressed that agriculture remains a vital pillar for driving the nation's economic growth. We hear from Neptune.
If this government is saying agriculture is a thing of the past, then no one in Mariquar should vote for the Unity Labour Party. But I'm saying to you tonight, and you'll hear it from more of my colleagues, and Conroy would have speak to it, that agriculture is a pillar of the New Democratic Party. We are saying to you that agriculture will be one of the driving force in developing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We say to you that we will go out and look for the markets. We are saying to you that we will add value to our produce. And we are saying to the farmers that the New Democratic Party is here to bring hope to you, the farmers.
And that was caretaker for North Central Windward, Chieftain Neptune. Philip Jackson is in it to win it, and not only for Mariquar, but the whole of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Jackson expressed that sentiment at an NDP village meeting on Thursday.
Because I am in this thing not for some fame. The ULP message seems to be, we just want to win. So what, look, you just have to vote for us because we want to win. That's what they're basically saying. But for me and my team, together we win. There is no winning worth celebrating unless the people of Mount Pleasant and Morocco win. I am in this thing to win for all of us. When I win, you win, we all win. When Brother Kishore wins, North Leeward wins. When Team NDP wins, St. Vincent and the Grenadines wins. We are in this thing for you. So let's have a conversation. Morocco rightfully used to be, what did I say? Used to be known as the breadbasket of the Caribbean for very good reasons. Anywhere you stood up and look, you can see a land transformed by agriculture, the fruits of the hard labor of our farmers. But now you look as far and wide as you can see, all you are seeing is the latest product of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They call it elephant grass.
And that was Philip Jackson, candidate-elect for Mariaquaw. St. Vincent and the Grenadines deserve better in this general election, so declared Conroy Huggins, the NDP's candidate for Central Leeward, as he spoke on the New Times program this week. We hear more from Huggins.
As Major would say, the audits. This election is the time for the audits of all audits. And whether it is the vaccine mandate, people being, unceremoniously dismissed, people suffering as a result of volcanic eruptions, the different disasters, burial and so on and so forth, because they assume that you're a supporter of the NDP, that you have to suffer and die, and then you do not get the requisite support from the state resource, from taxpayers, whatever it is.
Yes, lack of medication in the hospital.
Lack of medication in the hospital. I mean, the bottom line about it is that this administration in 25 years has proven itself to be the most uncaring administration ever
in the history,
of this country. When you look at the neglect throughout the country, and now that we have been addressing more and more of these issues, they go in wrong helter-skelter in every constituency, even those that they have held over the years, they have actually neglected
them. Yeah.
And if you listen to the clip that went around with the young lady from Southern Grenadines, Siobhan Stewart. I mean, when I listened to it, I was really embarrassed. Honestly, I was embarrassed. From an intellectual standpoint, I was embarrassed. I was actually embarrassed for her. Because what she said was so nonsensical that I realized, okay, I mean, maybe that is her reality and maybe that is the levels which she's at.
Yeah.
Because she's saying that, they have the seats. NDP has the seat. They have government. But in 25 years, nothing could be done because the caretaker, which is in government, does not sit in cabinet. And as a result, he can't do anything. So they need to put her into cabinet.
So she can do something, which don't really make any sense.
And that was candidate-elect for the Central Leeward constituency, Conroy Huggins. NDP caretaker for East St. George, Lavon Gibson Velox, made a strong call for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to step forward on regional stage. Speaking at a village meeting this week, she stated that it is time for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be counted, just like the other islands in the region.
We can help you. We have plans for you. And I go into the constituency and I say that to the young people in East St. George with confidence, because my leader told me I can say these things when I go into the constituency. Tell them that the new Democratic Party has plans for the young people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You heard Laverne King talk about them earlier. You heard Esteban talk about them earlier. They are on the books, and you can take us at our word. It's not like Laverne say, they promise, but they lie. We not lying about anything, because we want our country to develop. And if we don't develop our people, our country cannot develop as it should. It is time for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be counted like the other islands. This lowest wages that we pay, that can't work. When you go to Grenada and St. Lucia and Antigua, you cringe, because it's like, so what happened to us? We need to get to that stage, and we can only get there under a new Democratic Party government led by Dr. Godwin Friday.
Velux further said that the new Democratic Party is committed to all, not just a few.
They keep saying that we don't have plans, but that is their way of fooling the people, like they have done for the last 25 years, just fooling the people. Well, after 25 years, you should have learned your lesson, because we, the people, are not dumb anymore. We listen, and we have all the media available to us, where we see what is going on in other countries, and we see how we can develop ourselves. And this new Democratic Party, and I am proud to be a part of it, extremely proud, is going to oversee the development of all the people of this country, not just the people who vote for us. We're not doing any partisan politics, because if we do that, me and all are in trouble. We in trouble, because I will not condone that. Government is for all people, not some of them, which is what we are experiencing now.
NDP caretaker for the East St. George constituency, Laverne Gibson Velux. The Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Awareness Campaign, launched in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is a significant milestone in the country's digital transformation journey. Their 6-month public awareness campaign is a coordinated regional effort being simultaneously rolled out in 4 OECS territories, including Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Its primary goal is to empower these populations with the knowledge and tools needed to safely navigate the increasingly digital world. St. and the Grenadines, the third country to launch the campaign, following St. Lucia and Dominica on the 26th and the 28th of August 2025, respectively. St. Vincent tourism industry is demonstrating remarkable resilience, with the yachting sector showing significant recovery following the challenges posed by Hurricane Barry last year. Tourism Minister Carlos James delivered an optimism message during the tourism industry stakeholders conference, emphasizing the sector's impressive comeback. Speaking at the press conference, the theme Strength in Unity, Advancing the Vincentian Visitor Experience, Minister James highlighted the critical role of the country's Sailing Week in revitalizing the maritime tourism sector. The event has proven to be a pivotal moment in rebuilding confidence and attracting international maritime visitors. The Inland Revenue Department, IRD, reminds all property owners that property tax payment for 2025 tax period are due on or before 30th of September 2025. Failure to make payments by the due date will result in penalties and may also trigger enforcement action. The IRD has observed a continuous decline in the compliance rate for property tax owners for the tax period ending September 30, 2024. The compliance rate was as low as 56%. Consequently, the IRD would be implementing a robust, sustained, and widespread property tax enforcement program geared towards reversing this declining rate of compliance. As part of these efforts, the departments will be starting with the top 150 property tax defaulters for both the domestic and commercial properties. This list represents those taxpayers with the largest outstanding property tax balances, along with those with a prolonged history of non-compliance. These taxpayers will be subject to targeted enforcement measures until their outstanding property tax liability is fully liquidated. The IRD urges all property owners who may be in arrears to take immediate steps to bring their property tax accounts up to date in order to avoid any resulting enforcement action. Property owners who are uncertain about their property tax balances, you are encouraged to contact the IRD or visit the office to verify your account. On Friday, September 5, some 60 purebred rabbits were distributed to 12 livestock farmers under the UBEC Surge SVG Food Insecurity Project at a Dumbarton Agricultural Station. The rabbits, which include 3 breeds, New Zealand White, Californian, and Flemish Giant, are expected to strengthen national efforts to improve food security and create opportunities for income generation. Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labour, Sabota described the initiative as another step towards bolstering food security and expanding export opportunities. People encourage intentions to return to backyard farming and animal rearing, that producing more food at home can significantly reduce household expenses. In the police news, police arrested and charged Gilney Samuel, a 40-year-old chef of Chantilly, with the offense of assault and damage to property, according to investigations. The accused assaulted a 40-year-old laborer of Rosebank by beating him about the body with a spear gun and a cutlass, causing actual bodily harm. He was further charged with damaging the right front door of motor vehicle P3965 and valued at 500 EC by pulling the property of the complainant. The offences were committed in Chateaubriand on November 19, 2024. Samuel appeared before Chateaubriand Magistrate Court and pleaded guilty to the charges. However, after the explanation by the accused, a not guilty plea was entered by the presiding magistrate. Samuel was granted bail in the 2000 the matter was adjourned and transferred to the Barley Magistrate Court for hearing on October 8, 2025. But now take a look at the regional story in Guyana. The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce has announced that the number 63 beaches on the road a transformative upgrade which will ensure it will position to become the premier destination. The enhancement of the beach forms part of the national beautification project spearheaded by the Office of Health in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works and the Regional Democratic Council of Region. In Trinidad, a 31-year-old man was fatally shot by police during an early morning operation in Santa Cruz yesterday. The deceased has been identified as Aaron Benjamin. Police said that upon entering a painted 3-bedroom house, they found Benjamin asleep on a couch, called out to alleged jump and pointed a firearm. So I'll repeat that again. A 31-year-old man was fatally shot by police during an early morning operation in Santa Cruz yesterday. The deceased has been identified as Aaron Benjamin. Police said that upon entering the unpainted 3-bedroom house, they found Benjamin asleep on a couch. When called out, he allegedly jumped up and pointed a firearm at officers in fear for their lives. 2 officers opened fire. Benjamin was shot and injured. He was rushed to the Eric William Medical Sciences Company, where he later died while receiving treatment. They recovered a revolver loaded with 3 rounds of 38 special ammunition and 3 spent cases at the scene, along with 14.9 milliliter casing fired from police weapons. We moved to news from Grenada. Several private construction companies in Grenada have turned to Cuba and Haiti to contract skilled workers, especially in the area of bricklaying and carpentry, as they come up with ways and means to complete construction projects. The government has not formalized any agreement with the Cuban government for state-to-state contracting with skilled workers, but instead private companies in collaboration with Grenada's embassy in Cuba and advertising the vacancy and assisting with contracting interviews for the job. News from Barbados. A bold new package of judicial reform ranging from digitizing state trials to state trial states are returning delayed appeals at the state assessment as one form support from the acting attorney general, president of the Barbados Bar Association, and the lawyers. News from St. Lucia was aimed at recognizing and maintaining cash trees. The cash constituency also has released its own initiative according to mobile vending caravans to empower small business operators. According to officials, the arrangement, which was officially formalized during the brief ceremony at the CCC in 2017, will allow selected vendors to eventually own their vending rights. News from Dominica. Dominican police are now the beneficiaries of equipment donated towards a pilot project for a police record management information system. The proposed pilot is funded by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, is being co-developed and deployed by police across the region. The program is said to be actively in use in 6 countries. At present, Grenada and Haiti, Barbados, and Kitts, Guyana, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In Jamaica, a 40-year-old hospital attendant has been charged with unauthorized access to computer data and simple larceny after he allegedly used another person's debit card to make simple purchases. Reports from the Jamaican police are at 8 p.m. on Friday, August 29. A man used his phone card to withdraw funds from an automated teller machine ATM in Maypen in the parish, which was Saturday, August 30 and Sunday, August 30. Smith allegedly made purchases at various business establishments in the parish and online, amounting to $73,146.36. The matter was reported to the police, who immediately engaged in investigation. Smith was subsequently identified and taken into custody. Now take a look at the regional story news from Latin America. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has announced a sweeping military deployment soldiers in 5,300 communities nationwide. We hear more in this report.
For war, military drills on its island amid in the region. World News Weekend anchor Glenn Miller.
5 U.S. F-35 stealth fighter jets right across the tarmac of the Osprey, staging at the old Naval Station south of San Juan, Puerto Rico. U.S. military here and several other sites on this island, headlined as in the war on drugs in the Caribbean, clearly focused on Venezuela and its leader, Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela in defense mode, ordering intense training of its own on a Caribbean island 16 miles off its coast.
Today, our commander-in-chief has ordered us an exercise, a campaign maneuver. It's called Campaign Maneuver Sovereign Caribbean 200.
The drill meant to demonstrate Venezuela's sovereignty over that island territory, a response to the U.S. Navy warships now in the Caribbean and the warplanes here in Puerto Rico. The U.S. Department of War posting this picture on X of an F-35 Lightning jet, all meant to combat Latin American drug cartels.
We knocked off actually 3 boats, not 2, but you saw 2.
President Trump announcing this week the attack on and destruction of 3 alleged drug vessels leaving Venezuela, reportedly headed to the U.S. Video released of 2 of those strikes, at least 14 people on those vessels killed. Venezuela denies the claims, now accusing U.S. drug enforcement agents of planting drugs, showing off 3 tons of cocaine.
The staging and the training, the most certain sign yet of what can only be called uncertainty for what's to come in our part of this hemisphere.
News from the USA.
Several breaking stories as we come on the air. The chaos in the air, a major radar and communications outage causing chaos at 2 major airports. Air traffic controllers unable to communicate with each other.
We've lost all radar and phone communication.
Pilots forced to relay messages through a plane that did have contact, and you'll hear it. More than 1,000 flights canceled or delayed. Tonight, the chilling images, the urgent search for a 2-year-old boy swept away while in a car with his father amid horrific storms. Tonight, major news when it comes to getting the COVID vaccine this fall, the vote just today, and the major change tonight, suggesting people should decide for themselves. The government will not be making recommendations from the CDC, and there is reaction already coming in tonight. Late today in the Oval Office, President Trump was asked about his FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, who put pressure on some ABC stations to preempt Jimmy Kimmel. Republican Ted Cruz comparing that pressure to that of a mafia boss. What the president is now saying about this tonight. Also developing at this hour, police late today say a gunman opening fire on KXTV, an ABC affiliate in Sacramento, California. Authorities now searching for a suspect tonight. This evening, there's news on the man who became unresponsive while riding a roller coaster at Universal's Epic Universe in Orlando. Tonight, the Grammy-winning songwriter killed in a plane crash. The alarming close call, a driver nearly hitting a young boy crossing the street trying to get on the school bus. The bus's red lights flashing. And the remarkable lesson tonight, the father and his sons, the AAA mechanic who taught everyone who is our person of the week.
News from the USA. In the UK, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is moving forward with plans to introduce digital identification system as part of efforts to overhaul the country's asylum and immigration system. With an announcement anticipated as early as parties' conference this month, the Financial Times reported on Friday. In Europe, Estonia has requested a consultation with other NATO's members after Russian warplanes violated its airspace on Friday.
Which has described an incursion by Russian fighter jets into its airspace as unprecedentedly brazen. It says 3 Russian military jets entered the NATO country's airspace without permission on Friday morning and stayed there for nearly 12 minutes. In a statement on X, a NATO spokesperson said, "This is yet another example of reckless Russian behavior and NATO's ability to respond." The incident comes after the violation of Polish airspace by Russian drones and a further Russian drone incursion over Romanian territory close to the Ukrainian border. Well, in the last few hours, the Prime Minister of Estonia has said his country will request NATO Article 4 consultations over that violation of its airspace by the Russian jets. Under Article 4, member countries can bring any issue of concern, especially those related to security, to the North Atlantic Council. That's NATO's main political decision-making body. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk also invoked Article 4 consultations just last week.
In the Middle East, the U.S. military on Friday said it had carried out a raid in Syria that killed a senior Islamic State militant. Early on Friday, the Iraqi Counterterrorism Service said that a senior Islamic State leader was killed in a security operation in Syria, carried out in coordination with the U.S.-led international coalition. And finally, on the international news, over 800 students fell sick in 2 cases of mass food poisoning this week after consuming free school meals sponsored by the Indonesian government, officials said on Friday. 1 case affected more than 500 and was the biggest outbreak yet under President Prabowo Subianto's flagship program. Well, that's the end of Nice Radio's local, regional, and international news. Stay tuned for sports highlights, which is coming up next, followed by the weather and a break for the bereavement.
The suspension follows. And now for the latest in sports, sponsored by the following.
In other news, citizens across SVG are experiencing fever-like symptoms. Doctors have attributed this rare flu-like symptom to the highly anticipated football activities being carried out by the SVG Community College, dubbed Football Fever.
Granddaddy used to tell me one day I'll be great. Since then, I spent every waking moment trying to make a way for.
Boy, it's like I get fever. The SVG Community College football fever.
September 26th. Get ready for the start as we test our skill and physical fitness in the 2025 Six-a-Side Knockout Challenge.
No giving up in this chest of mine. This the heart of a champion. The heart of a champion. Oh, oh.
Show us if you've got what it takes to rep your division during our interfaculty selection series from September 30th. Then, don our colors with pride, determination, and passion against all others in what is expected to be a tantalizing 2025 SBG Community College Invitational Football Championship, kicking off from October 8th. Finally, we go into extra time with the SBG Community College Football Tour, January 3rd to 5th, 2026.
This thing ya become so popular. You see it, you don't need binoculars.
Make us part of your plan. Join the football caravan. Whether you're a player or a fan, it's all about the 2025 SVG Community College Football Fever.
No give it up in this chest of mine. This the heart of a champion. The heart of a champion.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% Intention. The Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always say by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincent John, a supermarket for you and me.
St. Vincent Containers proudly introduces its high-quality bathroom tissue. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Manufactured to conform to local, CARICOM, and international standards. Tested and certified by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. No less than 300 sheets. Legitimate sheet and core sizes. Virgin pulp, no recycled. Soft but not lightweight. Professionally produced and packaged. Now available throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Excellent Vincentian products.
On Friday, September 19th, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of $255,000. A new home, car, or that college education.
Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Next lotto jackpot, $255,000.
The public is asked to note that chiropractor Dr. Edmund Seeley is now conducting clinic and will see patients by appointments only. To make an appointment, call 456-9318 or 531-5318.
Sports report for Saturday, September 20th, 2025. In the local sports and the UEFA football games happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia and Barbados booked their spots in the finals, while St. Vincent and the Grenadines face Dominica in the third place playoff. Who's taking the crown? This all takes place at the Arnesville Sporting Complex. The third place playoff in Game 1, SVG versus Dominica, 6:30 p.m. The finals in Game 2, St. Lucia versus Barbados, 8:30 p.m. Countdown and colors will be posted later, so check it out. You will get a lot of action at Arnesville. In the sports for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, the assurance that the draw of the 2025 Six-a-Side Football Challenge was successfully held Friday, the 19th of September. 24 teams will participate in the Knockout Challenge, which will take place on Friday, September the 26th and Saturday, September the 27th, 2025. So you can get and see the teams and the names and all the students who will participate into the full fixture of the competition. There is a video out and the drawing and the promotional flyers for the competition. So check it out. Sports Department of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, who we know the person who is in charge of all of that is Roxel John. Call him if you need more information. In the grammar school football competition and junior match results in third place playoff, rain did not stop the football action yesterday as Miller faced Lope in the third place playoff at the junior division of the 2025 St. Vincent Grammar School inter-house football competition. After a delayed start, the match eventually got kicked off. Lope began brightly, creating several chances in the opening 5 minutes but failing to convert. Miller then found their rhythm, stringing together intricate passes, yet they too couldn't score, ending the game in a 0-0 draw at the end of regulation time. But again, the results came down to penalties, this time 4-2 in favor of Miller. And in our athletics, our two 800 meters record holders competed in the World Athletics Championship held in Tokyo, Japan from September 13 to the 21st. Handel Roman was first on the track as he finished fifth in the heat, won in a time of 1 minute 45.32 seconds, while Shafiko Maloney finished eighth in the heat, 3 times in 2 minutes 03.12. Neither athletes didn't advance to the semifinals but were proud of their performances at the games and also for a competitive season where they lowered their national records. And we wish them all the best in the future endeavors, and we will always be proud of them for flying our island's flag high in the international stage. In basketball, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Basketball Federation will hold a 3x3 basketball 27th of September, Saturday, 5 p.m. The venue is a New Montrose basketball facility. If you need more information, call 531-9900. That's 531-9900. That's all for local sports. Dougie De Freitas presenting. In the rest of the sporting world, we continue with athletics. Melissa Jefferson Wooden become the first American in history and the first athlete since Shelly Ann Fraser-Price to win women's 100 and 200 gold at the same World Championship. In other athletics coming out of Tokyo, Femi Bolned won the women's 400 meters hurdles in 51.54 seconds, defending her world title. Kenya Beatrice Chibet won the women's 10,000 meters in 30 minutes 37.61 for her first world title in the event. Jimmy Garcia of France claimed the surprise goal in the men's 10,000 meters, finishing in 28 minutes 55.77. Canada's Evan Dunphy won the men's 35-kilometer race walk in 2 hours 28.22, and Maria Perez of Spain won the women's 35 kilometers race walk in 2 hours 39.01. That's all for the athletics so far. We move on to football. In Championship League, Middlesbrough beat West Brom Albion 2-1. In the Women's Super League, Everton lost 2-1 to London City Lionesses, while Manchester City beat Tottenham Hotspurs 5-1. In the Scottish Championship, St Johnstone beat Dunfermline Athletics 2-1. Scottish League Cup quarterfinals, Camilla Rock and St Mirren played to a 2-2 draw, but St Mirren won on penalties of 5-3. And in other English FA Trophy, Biggleswade beat Hitchintown 3-1. Birdlington Town beat North of Fairley 2-1. Enfield lost 3-1 to Dunstable. In Spanish La Liga, Real Betis beat Real Sociedad 3-1. In the German Bundesliga, Stuttgart beat St. Pauli 2-1. In the Italian Serie A, Lecce lost 2-1 to Cagliari. And in the CONMEBOL Libertadores, Flamengo beat Estudiantes 2-1. In some tennis, in the Billie Jean King Cup Finals, women's singles semifinals, Marta Kostyuk beat Elizabeth Kokriko 6-2, 6-3. Another one, Jasmine Paroloni beat Elena Savitolina 3-6, 6-4, 6-4. In the women's doubles semifinals, Sarah Iranian, Jasmine Paroloni beat Luda Makala Kitchnok and Marta Kostuk 6-2, 6-3. In the ATP Lever Cup Center Court, Casper Rudd beat Riley Opelka 6-4, 7-6, while Jabut Mensik beat Alex McNeilson 6-1, 6-7, 10-8. In cricket, in the CPL qualifier number 2, last evening, St. Lucia Kings got dethroned, got knocked out of the competition to the Trinbago Knight Riders, who won by 56 runs. Trinbago Knight Riders posted 194 for 4 of 20. St. Lucia Kings only managed 138 for 8 of 20. In the rest of cricket, in the men's international T20 match, Ireland versus England, the match abandoned without a ball bowl. Women's won the international series. South Africa women beat Pakistan women by 25 runs in the DLS method. South Africa 292 for 3 of 46.0 overs, chasing Pakistan women 287 all out in 44. In the DP World Asia Cup Group A, India won Oman by 21 runs. Oman won 67 for 4 of 20. India won 88 for 8 of 8. In the men's, Australia won the cup. Tasmanian Tigers beat Victoria by 109 runs. The Tasmanian Tigers posted 381 all out in 49.3, while Victoria posted 272 all out in 40.1. That's all for sports. Dougie the Freitas presenting.
The weather, compiled by the Met Office at AIA, is coming to you with the kind compliments of Hennessy and Century Insurance. The present condition is partly cloudy and slightly hazy. The winds northeast at 0.9 kilometers or 0.6 miles per hour. Temperature 27.7 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 84%. Barometric pressure 1013.8 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 5.7 milliliter. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 31.7 degrees Celsius, and last night's minimum temperature was 25.1 degrees Celsius. Sunset this evening at 6:01 p.m. and sunrise at 5:53 a.m. Low tides 10:46 a.m. and 11:43 p.m. There'll be one upcoming high tides at 4:30 p.m. Sea conditions slight in open water with swell 0.5 meters to 1.2 meters. Winds northeast to southeast at south to 20 kilometers, 0.3 to 12 miles per hour. Forecast partly cloudy with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms. Synopsis, weak unstable conditions crossing the islands. We'll look at the regional and international conditions. Trinidad, 25 degrees and fair. Barbados, 28 degrees and fair. Antigua, 25 degrees and partly cloudy. San Juan, 26 degrees and partly cloudy. Miami, 26 degrees and partly cloudy. New York, 17 degrees, clear skies. Toronto, 11 degrees with clear skies. And in London, 17 degrees and overcast. And that's a look at the weather forecast. Coming to you with the kind compliments of Hennessy and Century Insurance.
Randy's Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, liqueur, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy's Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy's Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
We would like to say that Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum is the best rum in the world. And now we can. Voted the world's best rum at the World Rum Awards 2014, Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum. World class in a glass.
Get value for your money. Shop at Richardson Motors. Shop at Richardson Motors Limited and enjoy 3 services in one. Pop into our convenience store for a wide array of snacks, drinks, and toiletries. Visit our mechanic shop for a specialized treatment for your brakes, exhaust systems, and wheel alignment at our garage. But there's more.
When you shop at Richardson Motors, get a free oil change service, clean, high-quality fuel, or shop from a wide range of automotive parts and accessories. We are conveniently located along the Arnesville Main Road. Drive on up.
Reliability, convenience, and variety.
Richardson Motors is your #1 stop.
Air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, disc pads and brake shoes, clutch discs, pressure plates, rotor plates, engine parts, fan belts, timing belts, oil seals, spark plugs, radiators, radiator hoses, water pumps, universal joints, suspension parts, KYB Japanese shocks for Toyota, Nissan, and Suzuki, tie rods, rack ends, ball joints. You can also get accessories, cleaning supplies, polishes, titanium tint, black tint, Valvoline motor oils, Toyota and Honda motor oils, transmission fluids, Michelin wiper blades, headlights, corner lights, HID kits, HID bulbs and ballast, LED bulbs, and much, much more can be had at Automax Auto Parts. Automax goes the extra mile and spend the extra dollar to ensure that you get first quality Japanese auto parts. Come see the difference at our showroom opposite the basketball court in Camden Park. Call us at 458-2000 or 529-2070. Visit us on Facebook, Automax Auto Parts. Drive the extra mile to get the best first quality auto parts.
Please note that we open on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Nice Radio's Death Announcement comes to you every weekday at 9:20 a.m. and 3:20 p.m., Saturday 8:35 a.m., Sunday 2:45 p.m., and sponsored by Memorial Funeral Home. For more information, call 45-81013 or email bdsnice@gmail.com.
Memorial Funeral Home is the first in SVG to offer on-site cremation service. The new and modern crematorium provides a safe way to memorialize your loved ones. Memorial Funeral Home offers a variety of urns in which you can preserve your loved one in a personal way. Cremation can ease the financial burden as it reduces the cost of a standard funeral service by 50%. Caskets can also be rented. Cremation is a necessary option to the overcrowded burial grounds across the country. Their friendly and courteous staff will continue to take care of all your funeral needs, whether you choose to bury or cremate. If your loved ones die abroad, there's no need to worry. Memorial Funeral Home can assist in the transportation of bodies to SVG and from SVG to any part of the world. Memorial Funeral Home services can be accessed at their 2 locations. In Kingstown in the Russells Building at telephone number 453-2697 and in Mesopotamia at 458-8888. The Memorial Funeral Home, leading the way in modern and affordable services. Call us. We care.
The death is announced of Dr. John Wesley Comishong of Antigua, Canada and St. Vincent, who passed away on Friday, September the 12th, 2025. He was 81 years old. He has dedicated his career to his passion of advancing neuroscience through his work at McGill University, the NIH, and the biotechnology industry. He is survived by his children, Giselle, Nicole, Marcel, and Gerald Comishong, brother Errol Comishong, sisters Amy Samuel, Drina Slater, and Norma Comishong, grandchildren Kennedy and Sophia Comishong, nieces Pat and Angela Brown, Mira Comishong, Greta Manners, Marilyn Fredericks, Jackie Edmond, Lavon Wilson, Bernadette Manners, Lavon Comishong, Sharon Ganelli, Beverly and Lisa Byam, Paula Samuel, Dr. Shelley Samuel, and Suzanne Comishong. Nephews Trevor, Ernie, and Tyrone Brown, Ewart Comishong, Dr. Nan Comishong, Bert Manners, Ian and Lennox Comishong, Fazwick and Goshwin Samuel. Many cousins, including Ulrich Comishong Jones Jr., daughter-in-law Ashley Comishong, other relatives and friends. The funeral service of the late Dr. John Wesley Comishong of Antigua, Canada and St. Vincent will take place on Friday, September the 26th, 2025 at 4 p.m. at the Ebenezer Methodist Church, 45C5 and 69R, St. Mary's Street, St. John's, Antigua. Cremation will occur at a later time. Those traveling to Antigua for the funeral can book hotel rooms at the all-inclusive Jolly Beach Resort. A room rate is available under Gerald Commission by calling 954-906-4112 or 268-462-0984 until 5 p.m. September the 19th or Monday, September the 22nd, or by mailing BSNYDER at eliteresorts.com. Alternatively, Jolly Beach Resorts rooms can be booked anytime via hotels.com. The death is announced of Mr. Kenneth Anthony Doyle of Edinburgh, who passed away on Tuesday, August the 19th, 2025. He was 76 years old. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Cornelia Doyle, children Josel Bascom, hairdresser and proprietor of Josel Magic Touch, Velma Lampkin Dove, residing in Canada, Alicia Doyle, a teacher at the Kingston Government School, Vivian Doyle, employed at the SVG Port Authority, Anthony Doyle, Steve Doyle, and Renson Doyle, employed at the Public Health Department. Brothers Monty and Elvis Doyle, Jeffrey Doyle Glasgow, Kendall Doyle in the USA, Cassius and Bernard Joseph. Adopted brothers Albert John and Steve Roy Reese in Edinburgh. Sister Marilyn Doyle Hanaway in the USA. Grandchildren Anthony and Alicia Dove in Canada, Devontae Doyle in the British Navy, Giovanni and Denzel Bascom, Antoine Barrow, Jonty Delplesh Doyle, Miracle Christopher and Christian Doyle, and Keza Doyle. Nieces Bridget Currency, Kiwani Peters, Afisha John Williams, Anasha John, Lafisha Cottle, Sharifa Doyle, Kalila Doyle Brinson, Salian Hines, and Alison Doyle in the USA. Nephews Michael Hanaway, Corey and Jordan Glasgow, Akil, Jelani, Jabari, Kamai, and Marlon Doyle in the USA. Lalgi Jr. Cottle, Demal Providence, Carl Hines, Cassius Joseph Jr. Daughter-in-law Joyan Davis Doyle. Son-in-law Bertram Bascom. Sisters-in-law Lucine, Lorene, Junie, Christiana Williams, Castle Bristol, and Joseph, Michelle Smith Doyle, Yolan and Annette Doyle, Carol Glasgow. Brothers-in-law Aubrey Williams, Joseph and Neil Cyrus. Close relatives and friends, the Doyle family in Barley and Fountain, the Mandeville, St. Hilaire, and Providence families in Fitzhugh, David Clark and family in Edinburgh, the Stowe family in Beckway, the Sampson family in Trinidad, the Jack, Howard, Cambridge, Farrell, Samuel, Horn, Brown, and Williams families in St. Vincent. Other relatives and friends, Hazeland, Cambridge, and family in Tongue the Culzac family in Green Hill, Keith Edwards and family in Layou, Clarence Richards, Francois Adams and family, Ashley Francis in Stubbs, the Foyle family in Arnisvale, Brody Bramble, Suzanne Solin, Francis and Beverly Richards and family, the Honorable Daniel Cummins and family, St. Clair Thomas, Marcel Dyer, Nicole Howard Miller in Edinburgh, Priscilla Williams, the Barrow and Ferguson families, Bridget Batiste in Lago Height, Felix and Helen Dick in Prospect and Canada, the Davis family in Ratamill, the Delplesh family in Camden Park, Big Stowe, Vincent, Kurt, Paul, Pocket, Son, and the other domino players at the Kingston Fish Market, Miss Ashton, and other fish vendors in Little Tokyo, the management and staff at Caress Hazels Inc., the management and staff at the SVG Port Authority. The funeral service of the late Mr. Kenneth Anthony Doyle of Edinburgh will take place on Friday, September the 26th, 2025 at the St. George's Cathedral, Kingstown. The body will lie at the church from 11 a.m. Service begins at 12 noon. Interment at the Kingstown Cemetery. The death is announced of Winston Houghton Doroshay, also known as Papa of Canawan, who passed away on Monday, September the 8th, 2025. He was 65 years old. He is survived by his mother, Ermine Cynthia Doroshay, father Winston Doroshay, children Princess, Tiffany, Alicia, Isaac, and Danica Doroshay, Keston Poyer, Wilson Miles Horney, brother Ansel Doroshay, sisters Cassandra Doroshay, Katya and Doroshay Burke, Kathleen Dorothy Augustus. Grandchildren, Dokelia, Adriana, Kayla, and Zachary Dorothy, Jabari Dorothy Joseph, Alexia and Khaleesi Poyer, and Aiden Mascot. Many nieces, including Renice, Anika, Cheryl, Shanice, Kershel, Skylar, and Dua. Many nephews, including Adrian, Crispin, Dimitri, Clinton, Devari, Eli, Gabriel, and Ishmael. Many cousins, including Earl. Many close relatives and friends, including Paul Bishop, Miss Samuel, and KU. Other relatives and friends too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late Winston Hurton Dorothy, also known as Fafa of Canawan, will take place on Saturday, September the 20th, 2025 at the Wells of Living Water, Canawan. The body will lie at the church from 11 a.m. Service begins at 12 noon. Interment at the Riley Cemetery, Canawan. The death is announced of Mr. Holly Young Morale Ashton, also known as Coolie Boy and Cornbread of Greg's, formerly of Rosebank, a retired worker at the Botanical Garden. He passed away peacefully on Sunday, August the 31st, 2025, at the age of 70. He leaves to mourn his beloved wife, Mrs. Ira Ashton, in Greg's. Children, Jolene Bartholomew and Shannon Ashton DeYoung in the USA, Jennifer Thomas in the UK, Roll Wilson in the BVI, Aubrey and Hilbert Wilson, David Williams and Linda Thomas in St. Vincent. Cherished grandchildren include Brianna Wilson Johnson, Shia Wilson, Logan Bartholomew, Dominic DeYoung in the USA, Nariel Wilson in the BVI, Jessica and Max in the UK, Kaya and Carlson Duke, Kellon Wilson in Canada, Jaleisha Brown, Renuka, Talia, Nolly Jr., Jack, Linnea Small in St. Vincent. He is also remembered by grandson-in-law Kareem Johnson in the USA, sons-in-law Cuthbert Bartholomew and Dwayne DeYoung in the USA. He is survived by sisters Belita Roberts and Cicely in Trinidad, Catherine Mack in St. Vincent, brothers-in-law Adrian Roberts in Trinidad, Caspar and Dowell Wilson, Wayne and Reed Bruce in St. Vincent, Dolphus Bruce in Tortola, sisters-in-law Vistula and Adgiver Matthews, Elnoris Wilson in St. Vincent, Avril Franny in Trinidad. He will also be missed by 19 nieces and nephews, along with many relatives and friends, including Inga Jackson in the USA, Stephen Jackson in St. Vincent, Veronica Ashton in Canada, Deborah and C.J. Brown, James Rollin, Josette Jarvis, Theodore Batiste, Palin Miller, Eula, Mavis and Jose Johnny, Catherine Rodney, Tabby Frederick, the Rogers, Pitts, James, Batiste and Ashton families in Greg's and Simon, the Greg's Seventh Adventist Church family, the nurses at the Doreen John Health Center, the Hooper, Patel and Ashton families in Pittipedale and Rosebank, and the Legree family of Higher Lomans, too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late Mr. Holly Young Morale Ashton, also known as Coolie Boy and Cornbread of Greg's, formerly of Rosebank, will be held at the Greg's Seventh Adventist Church on Sunday, September the 28th, 2025. Viewing begins at 12 noon, followed by the service at 1 p.m. Interment at the Bascom Cemetery. The death is announced of Colleen Gary Bob, also known as Tuta of Magum and Richland Park, who passed away on Thursday, July the 31st, 2025. He was 59 years old. He is survived by his children, Kamishan Kemal Clark, Shadika Clark, PC 948 of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Kalina and Calvin Ryan, brothers Carl and Tony Williams, Leslie Edwards, Dougie Green, and Jeff Bob in St. Vincent, Alfian Braid in Barbados, Bert Williams in the USA, Curtis Scott and Anthony Gittins in Canada, sisters Darren Davis, Hazelyn Lynch, Lawrence Simon, Gloria Thomas, Merle Johnson in St. Vincent, Gemma Glasgow and Princess Simon in Trinidad, and Silma and Anne-Marie Gittins in Canada, Josette Williams and Travis Brown in the USA. Nieces Sandra and Amelia Williams, Michelle James, Selma and Renika Bob, Christine Bob in St. Vincent, Sarah Braid in Barbados, Donna and Jennifer Johnson in Trinidad, Bina Farrell, Bernadette and Suzette Williams in the USA. Nephews, Aunt Neil and Adrian Williams, Edwin Davis, Dave, Cosmo, Devon and Kimo in St. Vincent, Arthur, Lloyd and Selwyn Johnson in Trinidad. Aunts Marla McLeod in St. Vincent, Lena Monfiston and Joy Oliver in the USA. Uncle Kenneth Oliver in St. Vincent. In-laws Clifford Williams and Cornelius Lynch in St. Vincent, Lennox Glasgow in Trinidad and Judy Braid in Barbados. Cousins Don and Austin Bob, Althea Williams in Richland Park, Mike and Danny Frederick, and Nanton Bob in Penniston, Leroy Bob in Byra, Margaret Davis and Inlet Frederick in Canada. Close relatives and friends, Dwight Edwards, Luann Johnson, Nicholas Edwards, Calvert Nanton and family, Kishan Bowens and family, David Byron, Winfield Seymour, Janet Johnson, Audley Hayward, Gustin Jordan, Pastor Robbie, Eunice Joyett, and Randolph Cox. Other relatives and friends, Maurice Latham, Lariston and Ashley Primus, Calvin Aberdeen, Keith Williams, Raphael O'Garan family, Tyrone Lewis, Brian McNichols, Buddy Lewis, Sunil Richards, Judy Thomas and friends, Per Davy, Isola Peters and family, Gracie Maloney, Paul Scott and Elisa Primus, the Bob Williams and Hector families in Richland Park, the Bob Williams and Hector Baker and Paris families in Penniston, the Primus family in Richland Park and Diamond, the Clark family in Argyle, the communities of Overland and Magam, the past and members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Sandy Bay, the staff at the Overland Health Center and the Georgetown Smart Hospital. The funeral service of the late Colin Gary Bob, also known as Tuta, of Magam and Richland Park, will take place on Sunday, September the 21st, 2025, at the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. The body will lie at the church from 1 p.m. Service begins at 2 p.m. Interment at the Richland Park Cemetery. The death is announced of Catherine Adelaide Cordes of Richland Park, who passed away on Saturday, August the 30th, 2025. She was 106 years old. Funeral arrangements of the late Catherine Cordes will be heard in a subsequent announcement. The death is announced of Mr. Elmo Augustus Poyer, also known as Malt of Green Hill Barley, who passed away on Tuesday, August the 26th, 2025. He was 74 years old. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Duflin Poyer. Children, sons, Ephron, Devron, and Elron Poyer. Daughter, Mrs. Daranisa Poyer Shallow. Brothers, Percival, Colin, and Marcus Mason. Ezekiel and Raymond Trimmingham, Edgar Lewis, and Kenneth Williams. Sisters, Mrs. Carleen Lewis, Mrs. Ines Frederick, Mrs. Barbara Crease, Mrs. Cynthia Mofford, Bernice and Melania Mason, Yvonne, Juliet, and Patricia Trimmingham. Grandchildren, Doricia, Josiane, Kalino, Savannah, Jace, Francesca, Kalila, Quadri, Eloise, and Kalik Poyer, Kareem and Nelly Shallow, Zay Macmillan and Sarah Doneden. 14 nieces, 18 nephews, 23 great-nieces, 23 great-nephews. Son-in-law, Akeem Shallow. Daughter-in-law, Hilary Poyer. Brothers-in-law, Cecil Mofford, Augustine Lewis, Paul Crease, Levi Rodney, Ibrahim Sakura, Byron, Nikki Paul, and Ketush Frederick, Tyrone Garrow, Aaron Games, Aaron Hepburn, and Nolan Bowles. Sisters-in-law, Anita Thomas, Denise and Pat Mason, Paul, Roslyn, and Monica Frederick, Mrs. Antoinette Sakura, Mrs. Mahalia Rodney, and Mrs. Petula Games. Mother-in-law, Miss Emily Frederick. Close relatives, the Trimmingham, Frederick, Mason, Lewis, Crease, and Grant families, the Thomas family in Richland Park, Sonia Samuel, Raquel Frederick, Celita Crease Frederick and family, Rudy and Rand Frederick families in Barbados. Close friends, Tom and Suzanne Hanselman, Larry and Gary Lade in the USA, Anna, Bob, Pastor Maxwell Providence and family, Edsu Williams and family, Marilyn and Met Jr. Morgan, Lance John, Daniel Alexander and family, Mr. and Mrs. Amelia Cobbler, Miss Alison Guy, Miss Millicent Trimingham Poyer in Morris Village, Denise James and family in Park Hill. Other relatives, Mr. and Mrs. Randy Thorne of Green Hill, Pastor Paul Kirby and family, the Ashton pair, Herbert Delplesh Peters, Morgan, Kirby, Anderson, Lewis, Brown and Fraser families in Barley and Kingstown, the Shallow family in Coleshill. Other friends, the Barley Evangelical Church, the Jackson and Dalton families in Barley, the Huggins family in Richmond Hill, Morris Village, the Horn family in Diamonds Village, the Frederick family in Fancy, and the Batiste family in OER. The funeral service of the late Mr. Elmo Augustus Poyer, also known as Malt of Green Hill, Barley, will take place on Sunday, September the 21st, 2025, at the Barley Evangelical Church. The body will lie at the church from 1 p.m. Service begins at 2 p.m. Interment at the Glebe Hill Cemetery, Barley. Nice Radio extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved.
Memorial Funeral Home is dedicated to meeting the needs of our customers. We go above and beyond to ensure satisfaction and convenience. That is why we are extending our services to the diaspora. Working with Caribbean Funeral Home in New York, burial packages can now be completed in New York to cover burials in St. Vincent, and likewise, packages can be made in St. Vincent to cover burials in New York. Caribbean Funeral Home is located on 1922 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn. Call their office at 718-444-1818 or WhatsApp at 347-925-9557 or 347-231-5410. For more information, call our local office at 458-8888. Memorial Funeral Home. Quality, convenience, and affordability.
Flow customers, you've been with us. You've stayed connected. And now, loyalty pays back. At Flow, we're rewarding our customers with a free Samsung Galaxy smartphone. That's like 5 months off your mobile bill back in your pocket. Back to you. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your free Samsung Galaxy smartphone today. At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
Nice Radio's birthday celebration package is brought to you with the compliments of the following.
Hannah, guess who nearly burned down the kitchen trying to make gourmet ramen?
You again?
I had no garlic, no butter, no vibes, so I ran to Massey quick.
Just for ramen?
I came out with dinner, dessert, and even items to clean up. Plus, points on my loyalty card. I even transferred money and still had time to grab a little wine.
So, basically, you live there now?
Honestly, with the parking, service, and the WhatsApp updates, I might move in next week. Who else doing it like that? Massey Stores, our family serving your family and your last minute cravings.
Welcome to Subway, where you can always have it your way. My name is Stacy. What can I make for you?
Hey, Stacy. I'll have a chicken teriyaki salad. All veggies, please. And for my daughter, Naomi, a pizza. Naomi, what would you like to have on your pizza?
Pepperoni bacon.
They've got tomatoes as well.
Pepperoni bacon.
What about some fresh onions, corn, pineapple?
Pepperoni bacon.
Naomi, you can also have olives, jalapeno, extra meat.
Nope. Pepperoni bacon.
Stacy, can I have one chicken teriyaki salad, all veggies, please, and a pizza with pepperoni and bacon?
You can have it your way.
Come into our uptown or downtown location today or order on your favorite delivery app. Subway, have it your way.
The birthday winner of the week will receive a $20 gift voucher from Massey Stores and a $20 meal voucher from Subway.
Well, it's that time. It's that time when we celebrate. 4565967 is the number to call if you want to celebrate with us.
Should have fun when your birthday comes. Nothing should get in the way of having fun on that special day. People must learn to make an adjustment and make this day a happy moment. Whether your troubles small or great, you should take some time to celebrate and sing, happy birthday.
I'm gonna go to my birthday.
With security guarantee.
I'm gonna go to my birthday. Should I say my birthday back? This is my birthday line. So let me go to my WhatsApp and shout happy birthday to Nikki Rubian, celebrating on the 20th, which is today, and greetings coming from Yvonne Dixon Nelson in the British Virgin Islands. Wishing you all the best on your big day today. Happy birthday to a loving daughter, Dix Liana Sampson of North Union. We're celebrating today. You got greetings coming from your daughter Leah, mom Lilia, and dad Dexter, brothers Dex, Leon, and Zachira. Greetings also from your grandmother Sonia and Stephanie, aunts and uncles and cousins, and many relatives and friends. They all come together to wish you all the best. God's guidance, blessings, prosperity, and protection, and the best of health and many more years to come. Also gonna go to my birthday bag. Good advance greetings going out to Paula Jack of Greg's. Happy birthday to Paula Jack of Greg's, who will be celebrating tomorrow, the 21st. Happy advance birthday greetings to you. All right, we'll be checking with Vin Abbott in a moment, but let me just shout happy birthday to Joy Kwashi of South Rivers, who will be celebrating on Sunday. Greetings coming from your loving children, Des, Brenton, Coldrick, Carl, and uncle, and grandchildren, sisters, especially Avis, Brewster, brothers, wishing you many, many more precious years and the best of health and strength, giving God thanks and praise for another year. Happy birthday. Advance birthday greetings to Paula Jack of Greg's, who will be celebrating tomorrow. Greetings from your children and the entire family circle coming together as one to wish you all the best on your big day. I'm going to go to Dougie's birthday bag and shout happy birthday to Bonzo Hackshaw in New York, Leslie DeBeek, working at NBC Radio, Ella Cupid from Ella Beauty Salon. Happy birthday to Yvonne Patterson of Indian Bay, Lisa Compton, Madam V. John in Layu, Lisa Williams, Simon in Kingston. She's celebrating today as well. More greetings coming in this time for Guinness Stowe, the Freighters of Dason Cottage, Ella Cupid of Glen, Marilyn Jones of Caleco. Happy birthday. Hoping that you live to see many, many more birthdays to come. Also gonna go to my birthday bag and shout happy birthday to Kamali Nanton of Redemption Champs. Kamali, you got greetings coming from the entire family circle coming together as one to wish you all the best, hoping that you enjoy your big day. John Garraway of Otley Hall, happy birthday, John. Dex Leona Samson of North Union, happy birthday to you. Let me take this call. Good morning, celebration package.
Price of Life, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm nice, I'm great, I'm wonderful.
All right.
I noticed that you want to reduce your size and come back as a little puppy. He doesn't want to be reincarnated.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say?
No.
So, you don't want to go to Altia and bend your head and have something cold?
Mm,
No.
next week.
Next time.
Yes.
Let-
All right,
I got my-
Julian. So
I've got myself a package.
all right, dip into the bag, and then we'll go straight over to Vin Abbott, who is waiting. Go right ahead.
Want to say happy birthday to Onella Crichton. She's out there in Glynn celebrating her birthday today. Want to wish Onella a happy birthday. I know all the other siblings, Romaro and Romeo and Kelly and Mom, TC, everybody, and the kids. Want to wish Onella a happy birthday, as well as its 25th anniversary to 45th anniversary to Conliffe and Ruby Roberts. They're down there in Lomans Leeward. They celebrated their 45th anniversary today. I know all the kids want to wish Mom and Dad happy anniversary, and hope that they'll be around for many, many, many more anniversaries. Sue and Surano, Tilda, Sarah and everybody. Want to hope Mom and Dad have a fantastic anniversary. As well as Amari Blucher, he's over there in Canada. He's celebrating his birthday today. I know Mom, Cheryl, Dad Everett, everybody, Grandma, Juanita and everybody, O'Shea, Big Brother, Everett, Everson, everybody want to wish that Amari have a great birthday today and enjoy to the fullest. As well as Azari Doyle, he's down there in Bali celebrating his birthday today as well. Want to wish Mary happy birthday. Mom Kenja, Grandma Stephanie over there in Canada, Delroy, Buta, Boombi, big sister over there in the UK as well. Everybody want to wish Omari happy birthday and hope that he enjoy. As well as Gail and Caesar, she's down in Bali celebrating today as well. Want to wish Gail and happy birthday. I know Ending and all the kids and everybody want to wish all the siblings want to wish happy birthday as well. That's it.
Well, thank you very much, Julian. And as usual, you have quite a number of birthday cakes to give out.
Yes, a lot of cakes.
And I really hope
Yes.
that they will enjoy their big day and live to see many, many more birthdays to come. Let me thank you for calling. Have a wonderful Saturday.
You as well have a great one. Let me say hi to Miss Bisden and Vanda out there in Georgetown. Have a good weekend as well.
All right, so I'm going to go to my birthday bag, and special birthday greetings going out to Colette Franklin of Mesopotamia. Greetings coming from your bestie, Natalie, Casmus, and Kishon. Wishing you many more years of good health, prosperity, and everything good that life has to offer. Also to Maul Smith in the USA. Greetings coming from your children, especially Brenton Smith, grand and great grand. Hoping that you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. So happy birthday once again to Colette in Mesopotamia and Casmus, who are also celebrating. Happy birthday to you, and may you live to see many, many more. All right, I am going to go to... Good morning. Let's try this line again. Good morning. Let's try line 2. Celebration package. Celebration package, good morning. Celebration package. Let's try. All right.
You can get it if you really want, but you must try. Try and try. Try and try. You'll succeed at last. I know it.
All right, so that's all the time that we have. It's time for the program Healthy Vibes.
Everybody move. Let your body move. Show me the vibe, give me the vibe. Keep on grooving. Keep on grooving.
Nice Radio presents Healthy Vibes, a live health education program aired on this station on Saturday mornings. Healthy Vibes looks at the total person, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, with emphasis not only on diseases and conditions, but also on the importance of individual, family, professional, and political responsibilities to health and well-being. Healthy Vibes addresses issues not often talked about. It is solution-focused. So join us this Saturday and every Saturday for Healthy Vibes on Nice Vibes on Nice Radio. I am Vin Abbott.
All right, joining me now is someone whose voice and message continue to uplift and inform. Vin Abbott, host of Healthy Vibes. Good morning, Vin. All right, let's try that again. Good morning, Vin. Are you hearing me? Let's try that again. I'm not hearing you in my headphone. Good morning. All right, could you call me again, please? Call again.
Built in a day, opposition will come your way, but the harder the battle you see, it's the sweeter the victory. Now you can get it if you really.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Spicy.
All right, I am hearing you quite well. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm just getting organized to face the day. Sort of a busy day ahead of me. The weather is fine. It's like, 13 degrees. Should get up to like 22 degrees. It's sunny, but it's all part of fall, actually. Coming up, I think, originally slated to begin this weekend. But it's been like fall for some couple weekends now. But it's a beautiful day. And I am looking forward to really enjoying every second of it. I'm so happy to be on the live list today. I hope this thing is true for you.
Oh, well, on my side, unstable conditions continuing to affect our island, and we expect skies to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorm. So persons who are heading out, especially the little ones, to take precautionary and
No matter where you are in
plan accordingly. I'll be walking with my umbrella.
Oh, wow. You remember last week we spoke about the hurricane season, and that so far it has been a sort of a mild hurricane season for us. We did indicate that one of the conversations I had with Dr. Andy Simmons, our environmentalist consultant here in Kankakee Radio, that he talked about the Saharan dust and how that impacted perhaps positively for us as regards hurricanes, sort of suppressing, the warm weather, so to speak, the warm waters. At the same time, for many folks who were living with respiratory problems, for sure they had a difficult time in terms of breathing and all of that during that period. But here we are now. We are now into September, and we are getting reports already. And this was predicted by the authorities that this latter half of the hurricane season will be rather active. We are hoping that their prediction turns out to be wrong, to be inaccurate. But last evening, I normally chat with one of my former teachers. He's my big brother. He's my sage, my advisor. Whenever I just want to clarify some issues, of importance to me, to the community here in Toronto. I resort to my good big brother Malcolm Garway. So we were speaking about good morning to you, Malcolm, and by the way, good morning to my cousin Yvonne Patterson there on St. Vincent celebrating her birthday. Love you so much, Yvonne. Happy birthday to you. It was a pleasure seeing you recently when I visited SVG. To all my relatives, the Rosses and all the Abbotts, and all good morning to you. Yes, Malcolm reminded me of that old saying from years ago in school. It was saying, as regards hurricanes, the hurricane season, June too soon, July stand by, August come it must, September remember, October, all is over. That we used to say years ago during the hurricane season as children, and that was sort of drilled into us. And but the way climatic conditions are presenting and manifesting these days, you don't know what will happen. Hence, it's important, like you just said to our listeners, children, family members, and all, to be prepared, to be careful going out there, because we're still in the hurricane season. There's systems out there. We need to be mindful. We need to be on our guards at all times. Of course, one is not asking anyone to walk around on eggshells or to be in the red zone all the time, but listen to the authorities. By now, you should be prepared for the hurricane season. Just listen to the authorities, the official reports coming out as regards the systems around. Just wanted to put that piece in there, Spicy.
All right, because we are still in the hurricane season and we're not out of the woods yet. Even if we're not
Definitely.
under any hurricane watch or storm watch at the moment.
Okay, wonderful. So, good morning to all the listeners, wherever you are listening to us this morning, and happy that you have joined us for this program this morning or this afternoon, whatever the time in your place, wherever you're located on planet Earth. We're so happy to have you for company. Now, in last week's program, and I'll be very brief today, in last week's program, we talked a wee bit about social networking safety, focusing primarily on our primary school students and above, secondary school, tertiary education students, and so on. And thanks for the feedback, Dave, and others. Good morning to you, Dave. Again, I wish I had the opportunity to meet up with you. But, you never know. Life sends us many surprises from time to time. While I was on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a few weeks ago, I visited Kingstown on 4 occasions by my recollection, 4 occasions. Of course, I made some observations just by being present, being in the moment. That's who I am. That's what I do for a living, making observations and things like that. Amongst many things, that I observed, several young-looking females. I observed several young-looking females going about their lives with babies in their hands. I made that observation, amongst many other things, right? And I'm not making any conclusions here about what the teenage parenting situation is on homeland or anything of that nature. I just made that observation. And then I wondered about children and development. Dave, I'm sure you recall, but I recall when I was working on SVG that the major child care programs, child development programs were centered around, say, CanSafe there at Richmond Hill, became VinSafe later on. The Y School, Mrs. Rose, she played a leading role in that area. I remember BIOS or BiSafe, an offshoot and affiliate of VinSafe. They also got involved in early childhood education and a few other programs around the country. Today, I know of several early childhood education centers on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I've seen their graduations on Facebook and other social media platforms. As a matter of fact, I voiced an ad for a dinner, I think it was, for one of these centers recently via Bay Hill News Network. I think it was Cheryl Smith's Early Childhood Education Center. So I do follow what's happening in that regard on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Friends, it is good to know that early childhood education is happening. It is extremely important. As families, communities, as a nation, we help to lay that foundation in our infants and toddlers, first 2 years of life, preschoolers, 2 to 6 years of age. So we have that responsibility as families, as communities, and as a nation to help lay that solid foundation from early o'clock. Not only through early childhood education in the formal setting, but also like in the churches and in the activities in the communities, things that are happening around us, things that are happening in the family. We lay that foundation from early o'clock. Very, very important. You see, friends, through early childhood education, our children are provided a safe place where their physical, social, emotional, and educational needs are met. Let me repeat that. If nothing else, I would really like for us to keep this at the front in our frontal lobe, in the front of our brain all the time. Through early childhood education, and it doesn't have to be in a formal setting, in a center or program. Anything to which the child is exposed becomes a learning opportunity for that child. Any experience that child has early in his or her life is a learning experience that could impact that child's development one way or the other. Yes, you see, through early childhood education, our children are provided a safe place where their physical, they can play, develop, eat nutritious food, social needs. Yes, they get away from the insular way of life in front of a device from early o'clock and learn to socialize with other children in the community. Their emotional needs, yes, they can safely express how they feel and get those feelings addressed by good management in the classroom. And educationally, learn new concepts. They learn figures and colors and all these things from early class. They learn concepts and translate concepts into reality as they go along life. Very importantly, again, they get to socialize with other children in a safe, safe environment. Friends, in a famous poem, Paradise Lost, by John Milton, he wrote, and I'm quoting here, "Childhood shows the man as morning shows the day." Yes, childhood shows the man, and you can use man or the human being instead of man or person, as morning shows the day. This interesting analogy can be interpreted in at least two ways, we think. It could be translated to mean that the events of childhood have little or no real impact on one's adult life. Just as a sunny summer morning often fails to forecast an impending afternoon, say thunder shower. What is the forecast on St. Vincent and Grenadines right now? Who knows what this afternoon will bring? Yeah, so you can use that analogy. Yet for persons like us in the field of mental health and sociology and psychology and all of that, yes, most do not interpret Milton's statement that way. Instead, we take it to mean that the events of childhood play a very meaningful role in forecasting the future. Are you with me? Human developmentalists clearly favor this latter interpretation. Now, friends, although one can specify precisely, no one can specify precisely what childhood holds in store for even the most meticulous, examination of a person's childhood, developmentalists have learned that the first 12 years are extremely important, a part of the lifespan that sets the stage for adolescence and adulthood. And yet, how we perform, how we perform on that stage also depends on the experiences we have later in life. Obviously, I'm not the same person I was when I was 10, when I was 15, when I was 20, when I was 30. Like all of you, we have grown one way or the other. Some of us might have stagnated. Some of us might have retrogressed. But clearly, all the things that I learned from childhood, from my parents, in school, in Sunday school, youth organizations, in the community and country, have helped to shape who I am today, one way or the other. I often say to people, like when I was in classroom in university, the lectures were fantastic. You had to go through those stuff. but some of the experiences, some of the real meaty lessons I've learned throughout life at that level, even at that level, came from conversations I had with international students from Africa, from the States, you name them, from the Caribbean and elsewhere. Those experiences, the things that the books don't teach you, but interactions, socializing, exchanging, agreeing to disagree, so to speak, having heated discussions, but trying to come to a yes. We don't want to be the lone winner and the other person being the loser. Deal with conflict resolution and things like that. The one constant is change. And the changes that occur at each major phase of life can happen or can have important implications for the future. This is something that I often refer to. The success of each stage of life, be it in childhood or adolescence or adulthood, late adulthood, seniors, whatever, the success of each stage in our lives depends a lot on what transpired before, what happened before. How did we deal with problems? What did we learn from the mistakes that we've made? Are we going along the same path, not learning from our mistakes, not using them as learning opportunities? Friends, early childhood education is important. Very, very important. And I sincerely hope that we'll continue to build on the programs that we have on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the formal programs, informal programs, government-operated programs in schools, non-governmental programs, the organizations, the non-profit organizations, private enterprises, and so on that are involved in early childhood education. We encourage you to continue to support them. We have a very young population. And when I observed those young females walking around with babies in their hands, I wondered about early childhood education, about childcare development. Let's give it the attention it deserves. I'm not saying it's not getting attention, but I am really trying to shine a bit more light on an area that is often forgotten, I think, in our discussions on St. Vincent and the Grenadines when we talk education and social development. Probably a lot of the violence and crimes we're seeing now, they had their genesis in what transpired in a child's life earlier on. Who knows? Something to think about. Spicy, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. To all our listeners, wish you a wonderful rest of the weekend. And to my cousin, Evan Patterson, love you so much, my dear. Thanks for all. Thank you so much. Have a blessed birthday. Spicy.
Thank you, Vin, for that insightful commentary. You touch on something incredibly important and often overlooked, mental health. And I could not agree more with your point that the only constant in life is change, and the real question is, how do we cope with it? And Vin, as you pointed out, we were nurtured, how we were raised, supported, and guided plays a major role in how we handle life challenge. Whether it's stress, trauma, grief, or even just day-to-day pressure, our early foundation can shape how we respond. And for many people, that foundation wasn't always solid. That's why conversation like these matters, because they help to remove the stigma and remind us that mental health isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Vin's commitment to shining a light on this issue is more than just timely, it's necessary in a world that's constantly changing, and we need to give people the tools not just to survive, but to thrive mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So
thank you very much, Spike. Again, wonderful summary. And again, I sincerely hope our listeners are better off for this experience today. Look forward to being with you next Saturday. Have a wonderful Saturday, the rest of the weekend. Megan.
All right. Then before leaving, there's something that I would like you to dive into on one of your segments that has to do with children and obesity. Because
sure.
Because this week the pediatric doctors were here, and they advised that, parents look out for the children and help the children to eat healthy. and to have a healthy life, and that goes to the adult as well. So one of these days, I would really like you to dive into the obesity section.
Sure. Definitely, that's I'll be happy to do that. And again, I'm always looking to twin up with somebody who might be willing to have a conversation. Somebody who, for example, is a nutritionist or a dietitian, and we have persons around. I'm thinking of Dr. Stan Horn on Nice Radio there, and probably if I can link with him, or we can have a two-way, three-way chat one of these mornings about those issues, because we have the resources, right? And I would like to shed some light on it. But I'm also always keen on hearing from the person who actually is the expert. That is his domain or her domain, so to speak, and who's practicing in that area. So he or she might be seeing what I might not be seeing. And I come from the viewpoint that when it comes to education, I always like to deal with the clinician. Clinician to me, not medicine, but clinician in the classroom, or clinician to me, the farmer, the bus driver, the fisherman. These persons are the practitioners, I should say, who are in the field, and let's hear of their practical experiences and see if we can twin, experiences with theories and principles and realities and finances, all those sort of factors. That's always a good approach to take. I've been very fortunate in most of my training. I've had practitioners, people actually practicing mental health and psychology and all that, being my professors, being my teachers. So they were able to relate practically, not just from the book, but practically what they in their offices or in the community and things like that. So that's something that definitely I like to take up. And I think it's an important discussion, because again, it goes back to early childhood education. What are we feeding our children from early o'clock? So children are likely to get meals that they deserve at, say, an early childhood education center, because I know, for example, here in Canada, the meals that are provided by children, or preschoolers and toddlers and all that, the menus are dictated by the Ministry of Education. So whatever meals come into the classroom for the children, those are meals that have to be there as dictated, so to speak, by the Ministry of Education and Health, based on the Canada Food Health Guide. So they're not getting anything wishy-washy. They have to provide the meals, and the meals that menus are set out on a daily basis. I know that for a fact, right? So again, this is where, to me, again, a nice place to start is in the classroom, early childhood education, right? What are the meals that have been provided? How involved is the Ministry of Health in helping the centers to provide meals, that are in keeping with the food guide of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? That kind of a approach I like to take when it comes to these issues, Spicy. We can talk about what is childhood obesity and things like that. Well, what is really happening in real life, and how can we turn things around? What are we doing well? Let's build on them. What are the things we are doing so well? Let us look for opportunities to enhance and to improve. And to me, the formula is very simple, right? And but we need to have that conversation. We certainly will, Spicy. Thanks for
you,
raising
Vin.
it.
All right, thank you. Have a
care.
wonderful day.
Wonderful day to you as well. Thank you.
Everybody move, let your body move. Show me the bye, give me the bye. Keep on moving.
Nice Radio presents Healthy Vibes, a live health education program aired on this station on Saturday mornings. Healthy Vibes looks at the total person, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, with emphasis not only on diseases and conditions, but also on the importance of individual, family, professional, and political responsibilities to health and well-being. Healthy Vibes addresses issues not often talked about. It is solution focused. So join us this Saturday and every Saturday for Healthy Vibes on Nice Vibes on Nice Radio. I am Vin Abbott.
No matter where you are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, your radio is Nice Radio. 101.3, 96.7, 90.3 FM.
Yeah! All right. Do it.
I'm getting ready to take my step, giving way for Caroline and City View. But I just want to extend happy birthday to, and this one is coming from the First Lady, Whiskey. She's sending these greetings to a loving auntie, Mrs. Marilyn Jones of Caliacor. She's celebrating her 80th birthday today. And greetings coming from her husband, children, and the rest of the family circle. Wishing you many, many more wonderful years filled with happiness and love. So happy birthday, Mrs. Jones. Do enjoy your big day today. Well, here's where I'm going to take my leave.
She was jumping and carrying on when they mashed it. Ouch, ouch. Keep on getting down. She was jumping up.
I must say it was a pleasure keeping your company, and I really hope that you have enjoyed keeping my company as much as I enjoyed keeping yours. And on a more serious note, I wish you the natural pleasures of life that fills your heart and lighten your spirit with. And if all is well, I'll be back with you on Monday. My sis Cheryl is wishing you a wonderful one, reminding you coming up at 10, Caroline will be in for City View.
When she started to strip, I could swear the woman flipped. She was going down, she was spinning round and round. Full to capacity, you could hardly party. Everybody rubbing, the DJ was dubbing. When somebody stepped on, she calling the party. Ouch, ouch. She was prancing and carrying on when they mashed it. Ouch, ouch. She wasn't getting down. She was jumping up. She was having fun. She didn't want to stop. When somebody stepped on, she called in the party. Ouch, ouch. But it couldn't stop Yvonne sweating. Oh, woo. All right. Ouch, ouch. Ouch, ouch. Ouch, ouch. So I tell myself that I should take home Yvonne. She says after 12, the evening was still so young. She was dancing soca like if it was rocker. She was dancing salsa as if it was samba. When somebody stepped on, she called in the party. Ouch, ouch. She was whining and carrying on when they mashed it. Ouch, ouch. Even getting down, she was jumping up. She was having fun, she didn't want to stop. When somebody stepped on, she called in the party. Ouch, ouch. But it didn't stop Yvonne wetting. Ah, woo. Mama, ouch, ouch. Ouch.